How's it going? My name is Joseph, and I'm running a few minutes late. Technical difficulties. Debated on even putting it off a few more minutes for the computer to catch up and to restart. So today is January 4th, 2021. Monday. It's about 11:15 p.m. here in California on the Pacific West Coast. So yeah, how do you get 7 billion plus 7.5 working towards 8? How do you get them all on the same page? It's a great reset. Not. So if you clicked that link thinking that my aim is to I gotta check and make sure I'm even streaming now. I got all out of... Yes, okay. I didn't even have the YouTube studio page up just to give me some information. But yes, I am. It says I've been live for 3 minutes. So how do you get them all on one page? Great reset. Sounds good, right? I can imagine somebody clicking that thinking, I want to know, because I believe in the Great Reset. So I click that link. Not. I am not a subscriber to the Great Reset. I'm being sarcastic. The Great Reset. I'm always thinking about how there are 7 billion plus people right now at this very moment. As I breathe the air, so are all those others. And that's a lot. That's a big number. It's almost mind-boggling when you imagine that many minds all thinking. We're all thinking right now. I was talking with somebody earlier about how do you get everybody on one page? It just doesn't seem like it will ever happen. I can see that. Yeah, I'm still connected. I can see that thinking that it's never going to happen. But I can also I can't let go of the other thought that the problem that we're trying to solve, it has to do with all of us. Everybody. Equally. As hard as that is, I think, for people to fathom, because we don't live in that kind of a world, at least from the outside looking at it. It's clearly there's classifications, there are distinctions. So we're not thinking on that level of everybody as one. But it's going to take everybody to fix this. I say that because until that day, if it ever comes, we'll never move forward. We'll just continue to go through what we're going through now. We'll just soup it up, give it a new name, but it's the same old, same old. Everybody. This is about everybody. You wouldn't think that. Again, there's just so much division, so much divide. Everybody thinks what they think, and it's not what the next person thinks beside them, and on and on and on. I don't know you. Do we? How can any of us say we know anybody? We're not, I mean, in this day and age, we're not even supposed to, because you can't classify anybody. I can't call you a man or a woman. I mean, can I call you a human? What's up with that word? Maybe it's going to come down to I have to call you a hue. Everybody's a hue. There's that no data again. I don't know if it's because my computer's just doing stuff or bad internet connection, but yeah. Should I refer to everybody as Hugh? Just be safe. It doesn't matter, because no matter what you call somebody, there's always going to be somebody out there that doesn't want you to say that word, use that word. Always. In this environment that we live in, there will always be somebody that will rise to the occasion. So yeah, it doesn't matter what you call somebody. Maybe what this time we are in right now is about is getting us to recognize it's got to be about something more, something bigger. I mean, to say you can't call somebody a man or a woman, that's just so ignorant, and it goes against everything you do. To tell somebody to not think that way, to me, it's like telling somebody don't breathe the air. It's that ingrained a part of who I am, who we are. It's ridiculous. It's like every word eventually is going to be outlawed. Any word that describes a state of a person, she, he, her, him, mom, dad, brother, sister, we. You won't even be able to say we or them. All of it's you're invasive and intruding upon somebody's feelings. You know, it's time for all of us who understand what the insanity of all of this to step up and say, you know what? I feel this way about, I could pick tons of things out of a hat to just go down the list of all the things that, I'd like it to be this way. But I don't, because it's unrealistic. But it's nice, gives me something to dream about. But Trump was in Georgia today, speaking up on the two Republican congressional candidates that are in the election for the two positions. And tomorrow, there should be a great convergence beginning as in Washington, D.C., as many people begin to find their way there in preparation for the 6th. I'm hoping millions. People are saying they think there could be millions of people. There needs to be. I will be there in spirit all the way. I'll be keeping myself abreast of the day as best I can. Who knows what's going to come? Millions of Americans who believe in this country. Not all these other ones that want to tear it down, rape, pillage, and plunder. The 6th. It comes down to the 6th. And what these senators do. Vice President Pence, his hand will be in what comes next. I listened to Trump today, and I stand wholeheartedly with what came out of his mouth as far as where this country currently stands and where it's going and or can go towards. If the people allow for this outright cheating in your face to the point that the big tech companies and the news, the mainstream news media, who they're all in bed with the money, all these people that own all of these mechanisms, these tools, and they're clearly using them against the people. They're using them for their own self-interest. And I can say that because they're trying to obscure the truth. They are, and there's plenty of us that know they are, that they see, and we're not going to forget. I am hearing that more and more. The people out here are not going to forget. This whole past year has been a very memorable one. You got to know that. Lock us down. Some of us are still, we're in those blue, I'm in one of those blue states. Here in California, you're a trendsetter state. Joy, joy, happy, happy. Pelosi. Boo! I saw, where did I see? I don't know if it was on Alex Jones or if it was Owen in the War Room, or who knows. But somebody was showing Pelosi. Oh no, I was Tucker on Fox, I believe. Now that if my memory serves, and showed a screenshot of her Twitter, like home. I don't use Twitter. Never have, and never will. I don't. And I feel like I made the right choice the more I become enlightened to what's going on. But right there on her page, Miss Pelosi's page, or Mrs., whatever you want to be called, idiot in my mind works, thing also works. But on the page, she describes herself as a mother, a grandmother. How dare you? That's offensive. That's all the more reason why you clearly you're not in your right mind. I mean, if you're putting this message out over here and everybody sees it, it's on Twitter or whatever that one of those things are, and yet you're over here saying this, there's a conflict there. In my mind, it's confused. It does not understand. I don't think that's the kind of people that should be leading people. I think that's an intelligent observation. I don't think there's anything damning about that observation and the choice of my words. This whole word thing is just, everything is nuts right now. It's clearly, we're coming down to the final play, pretty much. I still say that this year is it's going to make last year pale in comparison, and it has nothing to do with death, but just in the magnitude of the truth that you're finally, once and for all, gonna get. Us, the people, America, the world, the whole world. Because this is the whole world right now is in this. What's happening here is happening everywhere. And I'm glad to hear Trump speak out or speak up on the Supreme Court and what's been going on there, because I came to that conclusion. I put that thought up in one of these streams not too long ago, that if Biden is allowed to become the president for his short stint, if that's the case, because he's clearly not mentally all there. He has to have some, he's old. He's an old man. Now, we want to get into, you can't call him a man, then again, idiot works for me. Thing, because I'm not getting anything mentally worthwhile spending my time on. I got the picture. I got enough of the picture with these people. But if that's if that's what they say the people chose, and he's in, like I said, shortly, and then the woman, I'm going to use that term again, I don't care anymore. I'm not doing anything ungodly. That if that's the case, for me, in my mind, that seals this country's death. I mean, as far as what we recognize as the United States, it ends at that moment. And I want to add this. I will never look at the Democrats and gotta be careful how you see this. You can't say anything anymore because you're gonna offend somebody. But the same true holds for Republicans. I feel that the Republican Party and the Democrat Party, in my mind, do not exist anymore. From that point, I want nothing to do with either. Because right now, this has come down to the Republicans making a decision based on the law and the evidence. Period. Just those two things. Not all the other crap that comes along with it, like all the deals they've made with their buddies in the shadows that they don't want to offend because they want to keep their cush job. It's a lot better than what you got, right? They haven't been worrying about the COVID. There's plenty of video reports of being able to witness your politicians totally disregarding what they tell you and doing what they want to do, being normal. They're laughing at you. They're laughing. How can they not? Look at us. Look at them. Look where they are. Millions of people. This is I've been saying it's historic, it's epic, it's a once in a lifetime. What's happening now is not going to happen next year, 10 years. This is huge. We're getting to see who we are. I mean, that is a good thing. We're seeing our true color. What we truly care about, what we will allow, what we want. Biden had a whatever in Georgia today too. I haven't gone looking. I may go see if there is anything, just to see real quick, but I suspect that it wasn't much. I can't imagine. There never has been. That's been one of the big mind blowers too in all of this, is seeing the tens of thousands of people that all over the country, wherever Trump was going to have a rally, the people will show up. You can hear the roar, the cheer. They're alive. And then Biden. Handful of people. Literally a handful of people. Every time. And we're just supposed to just take that. It's not what we saw. We didn't see what we saw. So yeah, I suspect there was a handful today too. You know, who knows? I know a lot of the die-hard Democrat people out there are excited and believe that Biden honestly and truthfully and honorably won the election. Knowing that, maybe they're turning out now, I have no idea. I haven't really seen anything giving me that impression that he's having big turnouts. I'm under the impression he still spends a lot of his time in that basement of his. I know he's upset because the whatever commission or the military part that is supposed to be giving him information as he gets prepped to get into office as the president, and they haven't been doing that. That's never happened, I think. There's just so much going on right now. I hope that on Wednesday we get to see, look at all these people for Trump. Now, you know that I would imagine the news are not going to be trying to promote it. It's unreal. I mean, there's no more law and order. And literally, that's what's taking place before our very eyes. And it's ramping up. There's no regard for law and order. Money talks. It's all money. Everything is money right now. There's no good or bad. It's nothing to do with good or bad. It's all money. And everything that comes with having a lot of money. What do you do? That's the big question. That was when I was talking earlier. I stepped outside this evening to get some fresh air and had a brief conversation. He wasn't wearing a mask either. But what do you do? You got all this information and thoughts and feelings, and what do you do? And then that brings one back to, there are 7 billion plus minds right now, breathing the same air. What do you do? What do I do? What does any one of us do? And I believe that waking up is the first thing. You got to wake up. Wake up to the day. What do you think about when you wake up? Not about what's going to be happening an hour after you wake up or a half an hour, but in those first few instances after you've woken, what are you thinking about? That's the state of mind I think you need to be in. I think you're open to possibility at that point. More so if you're already in half hour outside the door, headed towards a destination. Because if you wake up and you start thinking about your situation right now, I mean, everything that's going on it's not a secret. The only thing is how it's being laid out, the players, but it's not a secret in that we know that there is a virus and it can do what it does, and the people are reacting to the virus in the way that they are. I'm worried. This is why it's I mean, it's easy if I don't think about it, the world and everything that's going on in it. I'm cool, I'm mellow, I'm happy-go-lucky, but I can't because there's so much going on that affects me and my life that are important and precious to me. I feel they are universal for all. This great reset, this other side, I mean, they have all these words, and they're sugarcoating because they're not what they're giving you giving you an impression of what they are. Universal basic income. Sounds good. Universal. That word universal. Just right off the top of the bat. Everybody. And I'm here talking about this is an everybody thing. It is. Everybody's. We are at that point, I think, in time. I suspect we've been at this place who knows how many times. Again, it's not an everyday thing. It's a once in a lifetime kind of deal. But we are at a place in time where everybody is either going to get on the same page for whatever reason. We get on, because right now we're not. And if we don't get on the same page, then kiss it goodbye. Kiss this goodbye. It's done. Trump was saying this tonight too. That's why I was loving his speech. It was, yes, he should be on the EBS pumping those words out every night, reminding this country of how important this time is, what's happening. Because if you don't, you're never going to be able to. It's, like I just said, it's a done deal. It's over. Game over. You lost. But it won't be all bad because you'll have your UBI, you'll have your vaccinations, you'll be crammed into what they deem is allowable living space. Just people just crammed, as many as you can get in. That's what's coming if you don't stand up. If you don't stand up, I can't see you. Nobody can see you. Where are you? That's when you speak up. What do you do? What do you do? I think about it every day, every moment of the day. What do you do? I'm doing everything that I can do. I want to do more. I think of doing more. I was in the conversation earlier outside. This person was saying, I need to find people in the town, and I know that's exactly what I need to do. And I've been thinking about that, and thinking about it's going to start to warm up. It's still cold here, so getting out and about isn't pleasant. And I don't have a car. I'm a walker. And I have a bicycle that I can ride. But I want to do that and find other people. I want to get out and because I want to feel like it's not over yet. I think a lot of people feel like it's already game over because what do you do? There's nothing I can do. So I'm just going to sit back and see what happens, right? It's all you can do. That's what most people probably say. They rest with that. I can't. I hope you can't. I think you can't. I think many can't. I know that many can't. There's a lot of people out there. Out there as far as online. Here I don't get out and about, and it's not as easy these days because you have the whole COVID and lockdown and that kind of stuff. But I see that. I'm feeling I want to do something, and I can't do it all from just here, being locked up here, or even doing these streams. Gotta get out to the people. So I can see that coming, especially if this other person gets into office for, again, his short stint before the woman goes and takes over his place. That will be all the more reason for me to want to be out there, because I'll be giving it my all to resist while I can, while any of us can. And like Trump was saying, if these people get in and have all the power, they're going to be able to write whatever laws they want, and you're not going to like them. It's going to be, fooled you. Yeah, we know you thought, and we know we said this, like Great Reset. When you hear Great Reset, you think, I don't think people think of the end like I see it as. Even the person I was talking with, they didn't, when I said the end, it didn't quite compute in their brain, in their mind. But I see it as the end, because if you have a reset, you have to, everything has come to a stop. It stops. To me, that's an end. And then it starts back up. So that's an end. But they're not going to call it the end, because then you would be wise, right? Well, I'm not going for that plan. The end? Who in their right mind would choose the end? Yeah, exactly. Who in their right mind would believe that Mr. Joe Biden, a man, I think, got elected, he was voted into office legally, honestly, had no participation from an audience in any of his rallies, and here was the other person that had tens of thousands. Not only that, if that is the case, you would have, no, it just can't be. I will never, ever consider in my mind that that's the president, Biden, ever. Knowing he has a son named Hunter, who's been in the news for a few years now. Controversy. Now he has a laptop people need to see that laptop. I'm serious. The people need to see it all. We got to stop this. This is not healthy. Having somebody pick and choose what the people can deal with, the same way we're dealing with the news media and all these tech companies doing the same thing, making the decisions for you. You have no say in it. You're being programmed willingly if you watch. This is unreal what's going on. That's why it has to be. This has to be. I think a great many feel it too. This is it. This is the end. It's not the Great Reset. Just give it to us like it is. It's the end. Which isn't a bad thing. It's an end because it had to end. Just like I was born and I will die. It happens. It has to happen. Otherwise, well, that would be a miracle, right? And the world would change. This world is always going to be here. Just the way it is. It's like a big giant prop. A scene. With an intended purpose. And we're all here. A part of it. It's not the end. Because all ends have a beginning. We're at that point in time where we have a choice. We can choose we can either to accept that there's certain things that we've got to deal with first before we go further. We haven't done that as a whole. I mean, this is a world. I truly believe that's the kind of situation. It is a world thing. When you've got countries like China, Trump and China, and they've got quite an arsenal, nuclear weapons pointed at us. You've got us with our nuclear arsenal pointed at them and others. We all have them pointed at each other. We all have troops, armies, air forces. And we need to figure this out now. We can't live in a world with that kind of pressure. It's unnecessary, for one. We're grown up. Kinda. We are better than that. I want to be. I feel like I need to be for my sanity. But it's the money. It's the money. And you can't build any of these nukes without the money. Money, 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 money. Have you spent all your $600? Or are you still holding on to it? I imagine a great many have spent it. It's probably gone already. And I'm sure there's plenty out there who, had to do what they had to do. And they pay their rent or food, whatever. It's all sick and disgusting. And you get to hear Pelosi. She understands what her peeps are going through. No, you don't, woman. I don't know. I mean, I get it. I want to be respectful. I do. If this woman has... See, it's natural. It's natural. But if Pelosi chooses to exist in this world where certain nomenclature has to be adhered to, then we need to figure out what that word is when it comes to her peeps. Because I'm not a member or whatever the word they're going to be using there when they're all gathered and having their discussions on laws. Because I can't call you what you are. In more ways than one, too. Ha ha. I think tonight it's one of those nights where it's like everything begins to catch up to you, the craziness of it all, the insanity of it all, and you just kind of just want to shut down. And like, what's the point? Like, how do you get 7 billion plus onto one page? Is it UFOs? Is it going to be something like that? Now, I mean, I equate such an event to that kind of a magnitude. Intelligent life, some kind of life that is coming from either out there or dimensionally or however, or from wherever, but it's here. To me, that's like the biggest story right now. There's nothing that compares to it. It's at the top, and then there's everything else. Us, humanity. It's like Jesus returning on a cloud. It's that kind of a story. I'm not going to go into is it good or bad. I mean, I touched on this last night, and I think I'm pretty firm on it that I don't know what this is as far as good or bad, because I'm not with it. All I have are my feelings and my observations, which lead me to believe there's definitely a presence here. There's something is going on here in this world right now on so many levels. Is it good or bad? My personal feeling at this point is that a big factor of that is going to be determined by you and where you stand, where your mind is. See, now I picture myself everywhere I go, even here, just here, I'm surrounded by a bubble, a sphere. I don't see one in my mind. This is where my mental state is. Always careful what you ask for. There's an intelligence greater than you and I, any of us, humans. The government knows. Government knows we are not alone. Just as a lot of people do. Too. Not that the government, but their own personal thoughts on the matter. Or is it more of a hope that we're not alone? I hope we're not alone. I have no issues with the concept of contact, meeting new life. I don't. The whole alien side of it, though, is big money, for one. You see a lot more of those kind of movies than you do of world-changing movies that involve some kind of an intelligence on a beneficial level for all. I don't see many movies like that, are there? I'm just missing them. Wow, I'm coming up on an hour already. This one went pretty fast. I'm gonna keep going. Because I'm fascinated by the ET thing. I should probably put my UFO up there, and it'll cover the sun. I'll keep the sun out there. I saw that Tucker talked about the 180 days that's tucked into the COVID bill that they passed, the one that gave you $600. And there's 180 days for disclosure for these targeted agencies to give them the information they're asking for. As far as UFOs go. I just don't buy into that there's contact with the government. Any government. And if there is, I'd be wary. You know, if that's the case, I will totally join the charge with my fellow Christians to denounce. It's evil, demons, aliens, whatever, and so is the government that's participating along with it. Because I don't imagine an intelligent race of anything approaching another race in that way, covertly, secretly. Conducting business with a government that lies, cheats, and steals. And whatever this intelligence is, I imagine that it knows all. It knows all. So it's not like the government can keep things from this intelligence. It should know that this intelligence knows it's all that skeletons in the closet. They got them all. They know them all. This intelligence. For me, God, it just makes it so much easier in my mind. I don't have to get all choked up in all the drama around it. I don't have a problem with an intelligence coming into our awareness. That's God, godly, God. But, I say that, and as much as my heart dreams of that, it also dreams of a day when 7 billion plus of us could all be on the same page. That's important too. Especially if I want to think of contact, a relationship with an intelligence. It's like, we can't even get along. Look at us. We lie, cheat, and steal with each other. Just to name a few. Government, I will see. We'll see if there's deals being made. Contact is already happening with the governments and has been, and they just didn't think you were ready for it. Again, who just makes that decision that anybody is ready for anything? I think it's a very valid question to ask. I don't feel like I'm being out of place to ask such a thing. Who? Like with Bill Gates. What gives this guy, Billy Boy, the right to dictate to you what you can and cannot do? Which he's doing with this virus and vaccine. And Alex Jones today was brought up Bill Gates and chemtrails. Starting up the chemtrails again. I don't want that world. I can see it. It's just smothering me from all sides, and it's not good. I don't look to E.T. or whatever this is. I don't look to it as a savior, saving the planet. I don't think in that way. Again, I think it's probably because look at us. And then I imagine them, it, whatever, and all the peace it must surround it. I believe that to maintain where they are, they maintain the peace. So to come here, which is a total contradiction of whatever this is, it's not happening. So I don't look to them to come here and save. We got to save ourselves first. before there's going to be any relationship. That's why there's never been one yet. There hasn't been no landings or anything that would give us the impression that anything was there other than what we are currently observe. Because there's no reason to. And it comes down to everybody. We got to find that page, and everybody needs to get on it. That's the mission. And without that, it's just, we just keep going round and round like we've been doing until you get lucky and you can grab that golden ring, golden ticket. I will be back tomorrow night, most likely. We'll see how tomorrow goes. I imagine things will start to pick up tomorrow as people begin to come into D.C. And you've got the Georgia runoff happening. But I will do my best to return, and hopefully I'll be on time, my scheduled time. Last night I was 1 minute off my start time, and today was 3 or 4 minutes off. Computer, I don't know. It's not like I do new things with the computer that I've been using for years. It's pretty much the same things. It's just I do them over and over. But it's like at times it's choking, like something's not right. I don't get it. I've got my virus software, all that good kind of stuff is on the system. And I'm starting to get thinking paranoid terms right now. Okay. Thanks for hanging out. I like to ramble. I like to get it out. Get my thoughts out. Put them down on paper, so to speak. And till next time, be well and smile.